up against the LATAM powerhouse and the young gunners of Team 1. It's Consulate, and it starts now.
Let's get into it, folks. The band's going to get started in just a second here, and we will see who's going to get knocked out. We've had, obviously, fairly straightforward bands so far with a couple more creative picks to counter out the other team specifically, such as on Coastline, they have a Lion band. But we'll see. Probably going to end up more generally banning things out in the meta trends for this one would be my guess, and okay, kind of right. As we're going to end up with a Nomad band there.
No, you're so right. That's such a meta pick for Consulate. Yeah. It really, really is. I mean, we've even seen some pretty interesting things on countering out Nomad here, like throwing down magnets out onto Suicide Balcony and stuff like that to capture air jabs and everything along those lines. Either way, though, Thatcher also going to be banned out here, folks. We're going to get into the defensive bans now. You guys already know why Thatcher's being removed. Those EMPs, very pesky, and Liquid actually going to ban out Echo here.
Echo, an interesting one, but we've started to see way more play from that operator on this map. I think more than anything on the inside of the basement site because of how you can sneak those yokais all around the garage. And another one as well that plays very heavily into garage more than anything there. Both of those ability to deny operators on the defense going to be getting knocked out, as well as the Alda for the defense going away too.
I didn't realize that we were still in 2019. That's the craziest thing here for me.
We've had like one other Maestro band this tournament,
but not an Echo Maestro band.
Yeah,
when's the last time we had an Echo Maestro? Thank you. Okay, it has been a while, my friend. It's been a while. So that should be pretty interesting though, because this is going to be a lot of that utility on defense that they utilize to hold down garage gone. And I find it so very interesting that Liquid doubled down on this because they saw the Echo ban. They banned away Maestro, and they're like, okay, now you have neither option. So what are you going to do to try and stop us from planting? Well, for Team 1, it's looking like they might have to adjust some things inside of their lineup overall. They're not going to have to deal with it truthfully just yet, at least for their basement setup. Don't really know if Maestro was working his way into their lobby setup, but either way, we are going to have a 6-pick here for KDS, as he will pick up... oh my goodness gracious, I wanted to call him a Nomad there for a second. Warden. My brain is on the fritz for a split second. I need some water.
All good. Well, thankfully we're not going to see much of Nomad at all on the
she's
inside
gone.
of this matchup. She's on the bench for this game. 6 decided not to let her out to play. So
yeah, imagine like with like the actual lore of the game, right? Because this is all a training simulation. That everyone shows up to play and they're like, "Oh man, we're so excited to be here." And they're like, "Yeah, but you guys can't be here." So
you guys have your sabbatical today. Go
get out.
Go to the restaurant.
You're not allowed to be here. Can't sit with the cool kids.
I still get their stipend though, I think, so that's the good news.
Yeah, you know, honestly, it's probably more fun to get banned out because you just get to watch everybody else have like a terrible time if one team's getting slammed.
They're just happy to be here.
Exactly. But into round 1 now, folks. It's going to be a lobby defense like we were talking about before for Team 1. Another thing to point out on this map because of the defensive bans is that Valkyrie is out to play, and this is arguably Valkyrie's best map in the entirety of the game. She honestly has a strong map no matter what, simply because of how Black Eye cams work, but Consulate has so many trees and all of these other things you can stick these cameras on outside, and you can get so much information off of these.
Of course, with plenty of peak opportunities from these front suicide windows here, as well as the other ones over towards Connector. For Team Liquid, though, it's going to be a slow roll here, and you'll note there's going to be an IQ, so Paluh shouldn't have much of an issue figuring out where this camera's positioned at. But he's worried about other things right now, a little bit closer to the inside of the building, trying to figure out what that setup looks like over there towards logistics. Or, excuse me, admin, as we're going to see the members of Liquid start to try and put some drone presence toward it, specifically Muringa more than anyone, but they do need to open up those panels before they can move their way in.
You can see Team 1 trying to play forward towards the east side of the map right now, at least with one body on the admin stairs. They're going to be holding things down up top, as we would suspect, just like previously. But obviously some other things that could possibly spoil this as well. So we're going to have one of the Argus cams going down here from PSK as he's trying to get some extra information, but Liquid have not done really anything at all with their first minute and a half. They've simply set up this side of the building to make sure that no one can enter inside of the main office down low here next to Teller.
Still very much a heavy emphasis on the drone clear right now for Team Liquid. And we're over halfway through the round here. It's very slow rolling for this team right now. But thankfully, already inching a little bit closer towards the site as Sexy Cake moves in on the top level here. He begins just raining in. No specific target to try and knock out just yet, but more than anything committing to pre-fire. Like I said, again, not a whole lot of progress made by Team Liquid, despite the fact that 2 minutes have already been gone and taken away from the round. Liquid trying to assault this site from the complete other end, but they only really have second floor control to vie for at this point. PSK is going to get some good intel onto a lurking player on the other side of Spiral, mainly Levy right here. Not actionable just as of yet. The team is not ready to execute. They're still spending all this time figure out exactly what the Team 1 roster has deployed up on the second floors. That still needs to be dealt with as well. KDS on the inside of the connector, as well as one additional one on the inside of the upstairs bathroom is going to try to delay him, shut down this attack before it can even begin.
The patience here from Team 1 is just unbelievable. Not overextending themselves, no real swings coming in. Liquid, they're going to play this down to 15 seconds. Really haven't cleared out too much utility up top. Let's see how forceful they can get. Levy will get the first kill here, but this is not looking good in the slightest. KDS tries to make an adjustment, but now Liquid, they're going to make me eat my words. They'll take down a couple of here. Levy actually making it work when it comes to Spiral, and that's case down, and that's going to be the round. Liquid not doing a damn thing with any map control at all. That was just a bad round, man.
That's the problem, man, with these all-in executes we keep seeing from Team Liquid. That's not the first time they've been forced into that type of a situation either. Some of these players on Team 1 are going absolutely insane right now, such as Levy, as well as obviously Alamau, who we've talked to death about over the course of this tournament here. So considering that, Liquid trying to send everything in a final 15-second charade, if one player on Team 1 is able to put a stop to one of their major pushes, then that's the end of it. There's really no making up for it. That player could just hide in a corner, and usually they're going to waste enough time before the case can even be retrieved.
I'm so happy you said that too, because that leads right into my point. And the fact of when you do these very low time executes without really, going for pick or anything early on and stuff like that, it takes one person being in a place that you miscalculated and the round is over.
Yep.
That person was Levy, and he was in a spot that no one checked, which was Spiral, and he was able to get so many kills because of that situation and thwarted Liquid's plans. I mean, honestly, this is scary to me, this map for Liquid, because I believe that Team 1 can indeed take this away from them, especially if they start to run things up here on the defensive side. Lobby's going to go the way of them after Liquid just have a very slow burn of an offense that they're only able to really translate into 2 kills. The case goes down inside of the teller's hallway, and that's all she wrote for that one. Team 1, though, are going to continue to obviously push on from that side after they won it, and they're going to head to Split. Not to Garage, not to CEO. They're going to Split for their second site.
Certainly not the greatest foot being put forward here by Liquid on the first round, but it is indeed only that first round. So we're going to see how exactly Team 1 will continue to try and leverage control over the Team Liquid roster. There is a drone set up against Alamau's position right now, but I don't think he stepped far enough forward to be spotted by it here. He's going to go for the timing pre-fire, but as you guys can see at home, no silhouettes from Team Liquid anywhere close to that. There was a player that spawned here. Thankfully, that player decided to wait things out, and I think was the one with the drone set outside the window to watch for that anyway. So no dice for Alamau inside of the opening 20 seconds or so here as he tries to go for that spawn peek.
Fortunate for him, but Liquid going to be setting up on the same side of the map here, and oh well, the best maps for this character here as well. Pulse will come back into the fold, this time not for Liquid, but for Team 1. It'll be played by Lagonis, and he can get so much info as to what side Liquid's clearing here. This, again, one of Pulse's best maps because of the amount of flooring that you can actually look through. He can actually see where Muringa is, and Muringa is actually standing on the floor. It goes that far, so he'll be able to tell every bit of Liquid's movement as long as they're within the radius of him being seen on that top floor. This will be very, very helpful to Alamau as well. He'll be holding things down currently in Projector, but he's got a couple of different routes that he could possibly abuse to throw some wrenches in the plan of Liquid.
Liquid did just catch that there's a cap can in play as well, so they are going to be a little bit more cognizant of the doorways before they end up rushing right through them here. A little bit more careful, and that's exactly what they don't want at this point in time here. That was their problem in the last round. They took things too slowly, too carefully, and ultimately did not have enough time to even assault the site. So as a result of that, I hope they would see things being sped up. But once again, Liquid approaching already the halfway point in the round, only with their initial admin, only with their initial admin control to work off of here. They try to push their way forward and start opening up the top-down angles to at least get some vision on the tellers here.
Oh no, but the shots are now coming through for Lagonis. He'll be able to find Sledge's angle here, or at least Muringa's, excuse me. He'll take him down. NESKWGA.Liquid's been down as well. That's the other soft breach that they were trying to use to abuse that top floor. And it's all just going so very wrong for Liquid right now. They have not had a solid start to either one of these rounds. That first one just being a slow burn, and this one practically being a false start in a certain sense. They'll be able to at least get NESKWGA back up, so we'll go to break up some more of this flooring, but this is just getting so very risky for them. Look at the amount of nitro cells still on the defense as well, and with only 45 seconds remaining, Liquid have to try and find an answer to this.
First plant attempt should be coming up from Sexy Cake at any moment. Lagonis already looking for a spot onto that. Neskin as well, moving out here. The nitro cell tossed actually up to the second floor, and Nesk will be able to get an opening kill. Levy working his way in, takes control, quickly loses it though as PSK trades it out, but less than 30 seconds left here. Team 1 are keeping the pressure on, so Liquid won't have their opportunity to put that case down on the ground. Ace is going to go into an awkward position, should still be retrievable, however, by Team Liquid. And a mess up from Alamau as he finally swings out from his position on the inside of Projector, goes down to Paluh. Liquid are looking all right to get this done. Oh! There's the double Nitro cell kill, though, from Lagonis. A triple on the round. Nesk is all that's left. Yes, he has the case, but he has no time to plant this, and absolutely no safe harbor. Neskin is right around the corner. He's going to run right in here, and Lagonis is going to finish off Nesk through the floor before his teammate even gets a chance. A solid stance being put up by Team 1 yet again as they prevent Liquid from taking any control by Tellers and pick up a second round.
All right, so the split attack not working out. Silence not going to be calling a tactical timeout just yet. And honestly, I think they can go one more round with Liquid possibly making an adjustment here to try and get something done. But Liquid are just not able to do anything in the opening moments of these rounds. They continually get set back, and there's no opportunity for them to try and get anything to come into their favor. Team 1 are playing this so very well right now as they're going to their third site inside of Garage.
Basement is up next here for Team 1, and they could realistically just go all the way around to all 4 sites at this point if they wanted to, with the way that they're able to delay against Team Liquid. Finally, Team Liquid probably going to get a little bit of relief here, as that early clear shouldn't completely lock them out of the building for the first 1 to 2 minutes. That's what I would expect anyway, but given how well it's been working for Team 1, would not be surprised at all if Team 1 is trying to go for a double down upon this and really try to lock Liquid out, as Liquid's been very scared, seemingly, to take any contested control away from the defenders here, just due to how well some of the individuals have been playing, I think. Alamau, note, doesn't have a kill so far inside of this game, but Levy continuing to dominate at 4-1, and Lagonis doing even better, specifically after that last round where he got the triple, as he's gotten 5-0.
Lagonis stepping up as well as Levy. You guys heard Team 1 and specifically Alamau talking about Levy's ability inside of the game. The best aim on the entire team is what he said, and that's a big compliment from someone like Alamau, who is so very dominant inside of his gunfights.
Alamau there, like I said, having a rough time, but you heard him in the interview talking about the support and how strong of a core roster has been built up around him and how much they're looking to press themselves forward. Liquid as well, though, prior to today, looking so strong, even despite the odd first map versus Damwon Gaming Kia yesterday morning. Liquid absolutely dominating on the second map of Coastline, but seemingly not the case here today, as they struggle immensely with their attacking rounds due to the aggression we're getting out of Team 1 with their own setups. We're going to start to see that come into shape here now inside of the third round as KDS begins to set up. Nowhere near this push that's being thrown over into Consulate, as we can see the rappel angles being placed here, but KDS seems to think they're already in, so he goes for a little bit of a pre-fire spam. Not going to connect onto much, though, and Liquid do realize that this is pretty much open for the taking, so they'll move in fairly quickly through yellow, and Team 1 will only have the control on the other side, closer to admin.
Liquid going to continue to work the drone game here, trying to get some information on not only this top floor to a certain point, but also trying to see what's going on in antechamber as well as the bathroom on that level. They want to make sure that Team 1 cannot try and deal with them, trying to take control of Piano. But that's what Muringa's for here. This is a very unique thing to Buck here. Instead of the sledge with the skeleton key, he can actually hit these things from range. So on a map like Consulate, if you get top floor control instead of console, you can actually pop Piano from above, and you don't even have to take control of Piano at all. It's no risk to you, except for possibly nitro cells coming in your way. We see this happen often on Villa as well, or Cafe actually, excuse me, where they take train as well as mining control to try and deal with bunker angles. You can't do that with sledge. You have to use something at range, and that's what Buck, excuse me, is best at. We're going in the last minute now, though, is really besides the map control that Liquid's been able to muster, not too much else going on. KDS pushes forward into connector up here, just simply waiting for the angle on front desk. He's actually going to get droned out. I don't know if he exactly knows that, but oh no, BSK goes down. KDS starting to surge forward as well. He'll be able to get one of the Argus cams, but again, Liquid running into so many problems. It's a pinch here, and oh no, Sexy Cake, he gets taken out. Levy gets another one, and Liquid simply cannot do anything at all. Paluh's going to die.
What?
Levy with a triple here. John, I don't know what to say.
Dude,
Liquid are just getting absolutely decimated every single time.
Levy's in the Matrix right now, man. He's feeling it. You could see how
he's
only
dialed in.
Just how proficiently he's locking in on where these players are coming from, but the smoothness with which he's going between kill to kill to kill. Perfect headshot pre-fire angle every single time. We're going to see it again more likely on the replays in a second. And it starts with that great nitro read as well. Knows they were trying to pressure up yellow, and look at Levy, man, just masterfully handling the situation. Here's the footsteps behind him. Might have been a call out, but I'm just going to say it was the the footstep intel there, quickly swings it around, knows exactly where that player is, and shuts it down. Liquid, man, we're already through the pause as well, and we're heading back into the game to see what Liquid is going to try and do after their pause to make up the difference here. We're rerunning the same sites once again as well. Team 1 has controlled everything. And we have seen Liquid bounce back in the past from these situations, but this is certainly looking dire.
Extremely dire, especially given the circumstances. I mean, this is a full best of 3. This is Team Liquid, by the way. I just want to remind you guys that this is the LATAM squad that went all the way to the grand finals of SI 2021 and tried to take that away from Ninjas in Pajamas. A great series as well inside of those games. This one right now, this is looking, at least in the moment, like Team 1 may have the opportunity to knock off Liquid in the semifinals and go to the grand finals to play one of the European squads tomorrow.
For such a young team, this would be a massive achievement for Team 1 to be able to pull off here. If they can
Not only that, but they came away from a tiebreaker with Cyclops.
Yeah, the first tiebreaker in
They had to win
Siege history.
7-2. They had to win this match 7-2.
Look at their group record, 3-3, split it right down the middle, barely squeaked through. Like we said, had to go to the first tiebreaker match we've ever had in Siege history in order to determine that against CHG. Now they're very likely, unless we see a change of pace from Liquid, looking like they're going to push themselves forward into the grand finals here. Certainly a massive turnaround and a massive achievement from Team 1 if it comes true. But Liquid off of a pause might be giving us something new as well here to throw at Team 1 and finally allow them to pick up their first round. Early admin control much earlier than the previous rounds being played out here.
Here we go, here we go.
We're going to see them get into the faces of this Team 1 defense much earlier on. Levy playing from the downstairs hallway, transitioning over to Spiral, already falling back from that position as the team tries to go much closer to the site. And Alamau now left out on a bit of an island here on the inside of Projector, unsure of where the rest of the support from his team is going to come from, but certainly not on the same floor, so he'll be the only one positioned up here.
Beautiful thing for Team 1 right now is that Alamau hasn't even found his stride yet here on Consulate. It's been the rest of the team that have been able to lift up this banner, put Team 1 up on a 3-0 lead currently, forcing Liquid's hand and making them use that tactical timeout very, very early on here. Alamau is going to continue to hold on Projector before he drops off, also checking the pre-fire angle here as well. But he's going to make sure to go all the way to the basement so he can use that Nitro Cell to the fullest later on if he so chooses. There's going to be 4 Nitro Cells as well for Team 1, as well as a smoke utility coming in here for Lagonis. So lots of stuff to try and slow down Liquid, or at least prevent a plant if it comes to that.
No catches from Paluh there on the players transitioning through yellow. No vision to go through that either. It's not a chance. The pre-fire, and certainly no intel coming from the sound, but at the same time you can see members of Team 1 still trying to prevent access for Liquid at these pivotal positions over by the window and as well at the front door to yellow itself. Muringa still looking for options to work his way in through the console office. As you can see, should be able to do that without much of an issue. All the defenses have been cleared out from the upstairs part of the map here. And now Liquid are free to work on their downstairs execute, but that'll be the problem point here. Once again, time is starting to become limited. Still a lot of players holding these aggressive positions to try and fend them off. And now that we've reached the 45-second mark, the Toxic Babe is beginning to come out on that defensive smoke here. First one already thrown in by Lagonis. The second one should follow that up pretty smoothly in just a couple of seconds as soon as he spots Sexy Cake moving in.
Well, the pacing for Liquid seemed to be a lot faster off rip, but the plant now starting to go down in 30 seconds. Sexy Cake taking so much damage. Actually ends up getting body blocked there for just a second by Paluh, so it's just a little bit more as well. Alamau now ready for the prevent with the Nitro Cell for the very next one. Let's see if Paluh can possibly get this done, but no, Sexy Cake goes down. He's dead. Paluh now all on his lonesome to try and get this case down, and there's still another smoke. Actually, no, scratch that. Lagonis already using that as well. Ness gonna try and apply some pressure in forward, but no, all of the angles from Team 1 are abused to the maximum here. A beautiful Nitro Cell out to prevent the plant as well, and it's a flawless for Team 1. Liquid have no chance to slow this down at all. The tactical timeout's already been used, and John, if there was ever hot water, I don't know what else I could possibly say.
I mean, Liquid tried to speed it up, and it seemingly just doesn't make a difference.
They didn't even speed it up, though.
I mean, heck, they got admin control like 2 minutes earlier than they did in the last attempt. Yeah, that's the problem. That was what I was going to lean into, is they take it, but then they just sit there for a good minute and a half or so, ultimately trying to force themselves in at the end, hoping that they have just enough time to bait out all of the utility. But there's so many things left undetected by Team Liquid, even accounting for the side hall hatch Nitro cell that comes in at the final plant attempt to defuse, or to stop that rather, and end the timer at 0 there, going into the favor of Team 1 yet again. That's not even accounting for the fact that the piano, yellow stairs, and the internal bathroom setup was never even touched by Team Liquid throughout any of that round.
There's just like no utility game right now from Liquid. They take top control once again here, but it's not even really top control at the end of the day. Alamau just kind of sits around for a little while.
It's just a staging ground, that's it.
Yeah.
It's an area of the map where they're not going to get immediately picked by someone from Team 1 that's inside of the building.
Exactly, and then their only answer to that situation that starts going down after they get the control they want to attempt to plant at 30 seconds is, okay, Sexy Cake dies, well, what are we going to do? Nesk just jumps down the hatch from Projector and runs into Antechamber. That's not the play. It's just not the play. Like, and here's the thing. I don't want Liquid to go quietly into the night. This is one of the greatest teams that we've had in Rainbow Six Siege history. And if this goes down this way, it's just going to be a sad sight to see. I'm so happy for Team 1, by the way. They are playing so very well. It's just that Liquid aren't even in the same ballpark. They're sitting in the parking lot right now.
Team 1 putting a huge amount of emphasis with their utility on the admin hold that we saw earlier there with the, I believe, 2, if not all 3 of the Runegates blocking out window access here for the attackers. And I think it is going to be pretty much all of them. Yep, all 3 deployed here. And not only that, but they leave bottom to top holes, assuming they're still going to control the Visa office down below so that they could reignite those lasers should they go on cooldown, and the cooldown goes away. Liquid, though, a bit of a different approach this time, as they're going directly in from Console and overall the yellow side of this push to try and see if they can throw Team 1 off, or at minimum avoid the utility, and so far doing a good job of that. Now pressing it against this play. At the same time, though, Team 1 catches that, and specifically their vending players. All right, cool. Now we've got a great hold on the inside here. Our opponents can't really throw nades in because we've got the laser gates blocking it, so we've got our own little bunker, and even better, it's on top of the site. So I think Team 1 are relatively okay with the current chain of events.
Oh, absolutely. Liquid continue to try to find the soft side of the map and work it, and honestly, it hasn't been working out in their favor, like you and I have been talking about for most of this. Alamau, very forward position here, trying to take out the Buck, but not able to find any damage. Instead, it's going to be the window frame that eats most of those MPX bullets. They'll back off. Neskin will be able to get 1, and once again, we start the T1 hype train here. It's Team 1 starting to run away with it again. They'll knock out one of the best players on the entire roster in the likes of Paluh.
That's another thing to account for as well right now for Team 1. Look at Alamau's score. The dude, you know, no offense, he hasn't needed to. Dude's barely done anything. However, Nesk is looking to do something here. Unfortunately, can only go 1 for 1. KDS takes down Sexy Cake before Muringa gets the trade onto him. So the damage is evenly exchanged as a result of the earlier pick from Team 1. They still maintain the advantage at a 3v2. It's up to PSK and Muringa now to bring this back for Team Liquid and finally try to put at least 1 round on the board.
Unluckily enough for Liquid, the remaining members is in deep holes, so this situation, although difficult inside of a 2v3, is even more difficult now since you're going to have a constant cardiac sensor on your location, trying to read to the rest of the team of Team 1 as to what is going on. Muringa trying to find some area and some space to work with. Lots of vertical angles to worry about here. He's going to start to create some of his own as well. The cardiac sensor already reading out the single locations here. Plan attempt now starting to go down here from Muringa. I'm going to have oversight here from PSK. Somebody has got to stop this, but it actually ends up going down. Not a single member of Team 1 moving in the slightest. Levy feels like he possibly has an opportunity here to get a kill. Neskin working his way up. He'll take down Muringa. PSK with 1, but he knows where Neskin is as well. So he's going to flick right behind him as well. Lagonis, though, where's he at? Here he is. He's able to get the frag, and that's going to be it. Liquid not looking into any of the rotations that could possibly come from the basement. So unbelievably tunnel visioned. And John, I think the pressure's got to him.
It's looking like it, man. I mean, you want to struggle for good things to say about Liquid.
It's hard, man.
At least they get onto the plant. They are at least able to clear out the admin setup, but it's at such a heavy cost that it sets up the eventual comeback there from Team 1 and explains as well why Team 1 did not try to stop that plant. They knew they had positioning to immediately move back in and start retaking. Before, I thought we would at least see some attempt to get aggressive against the plant, since there was only really going to be 1 player in fighting shape at that point. But still, they get it done without too much of an issue. Pick up a 5th round, continuing to dominate on the inside of Consulate here. And Liquid still without a single round on the board. We go into the final defensive one from Team 1, as we'll head back down towards the basement.
Once again, just remind you that you of those that have just joined us, 5-0 lead right now for Team 1, but also inside of that, once we hit round 3 for Team 1, Liquid already using their tactical timeout as well. They cannot reassess this with silence. He's simply going to have to stand behind them and watch as this more than likely ends. Team 1 going down to the garage now for this round. Seen a lot of successful defenses here from Team 1, and it's such strong control from them, while Liquid just simply can't bide for any of it.
I don't even think Lagonis has died yet.
I'm pretty sure that he hasn't. I don't think that he has 8-0-1.
The dude has gotten 8 kills. And I mean, even aside from him, Neskin's only died 1 time. Levy's at 7-2. There's just so much individual prowess coming out, specifically from Lagonis, but across this roster between Levy and KDS as well. But Liquid, unfortunately, are not able to contend with it in any way, shape, or form. And that's on top of all the issues they're having with their very slow pacing that's leading to a very lackluster amount of control. Lagonis going to try to reinforce all the garage panels, even throws a sneaky one there in the corner. More than likely will get noticed pretty quickly by Liquid once they get drone presence in here, but still, another obstacle they'll have to work their way past, as once again, it's looking like they're going to start things from admin as they've done so many rounds in the past.
As is tradition for Consulate, my friend. Usually it's the east to west clear here, but they're going to have to deal with Levy up top, who's been hitting quite a few shots. In fact, he outclasses 4 of the other opponents combined right now in the frag department, currently 7-2-1. You could say the same about Lagonis, like we were talking about earlier with his 8-0-1. Either way, though, they're doing such a fantastic job thus far of being able to shut down Liquid, especially inside of these mid rounds. Either that or the pacing control as well. When Liquid tries to be very patient and wait for these Team 1 members to push forward, they simply wait to see what Liquid's next move is, allow them to waste all that time, and then once that low time execute comes in, punish them for their mistakes. Once again, this is looking like one of those rounds. KDS playing patiently on yellow. A couple people in so here with him on this mid floor, as he'll start to assist his bathroom player here for just a split second, but instead he's just rotating back downstairs, and there's already been plenty of time here that has been sucked up from the defense as Liquid reaches the halfway mark here in round 6.
Yeah, fairly straightforward clear from Liquid, but that's mainly because Team 1 has not been too keen on taking any fights on the inside of here. Neskin might be the first point of contact as he's locked himself into this bathroom. Keep in mind, obviously with a rotation position to fall back upon. Muringa also opening up a lot of angles here too. And oh no, Neskin baited into the fight. As a result of that drone going into the corner, Paluh finally going to be able to get a first kill on the board here for Liquid. I think that's the first time Liquid have ever gone ahead with the first kill so far in this match, but at the very minimum, a very long time since we have seen that. Dealing with the Electric Claw, though, both of them from the fact it looks like they're going to be able to open up the central panel inside of the garage here. Things are looking a little better for Liquid on the inside of this round, but a lot more work to be done. And again, we're approaching a dangerous time point at less than 50 seconds left.
Yes, indeed. Levy going to end up losing his Nitro cell. PSK also getting another frag here, so finally Liquid's play starting to work out. Can they muster any more? Oh no, Lagonis and Levy starting to pop off. Alamau with a kill as well. And how does it go wrong when Liquid have so much control? They're simply trying to fight the site players, and they're losing time and time again. Muringa trying to make the play. He tries to approach white. He's taking so many shots. PSK will take down Alamau, but where's this white player? Oh no! Muringa gets caught off guard by Lagonis, and the shot's coming in for PSK. It's a beautiful triple from him, but Levy, very low HP. The case has to be adopted. Can he get his teammate up? No, he chooses to rush forward first.
They have a camera that sees this. They have a camera.
And oh no, the camera as well. They know. So little time. He knows where this plant's going down. PSK, Liquid, they're down 6-0. A perfect defensive half for Team 1.
Lagonis the Eternal, it seems, as well. Never going down the entire half, except for the very bitter end of it right there. It even takes another player with them at the end of the round. It's a flawless half for Team 1, and we're already on match point.
If you guys could see the faces of the Liquid players right now, it's basically just shock. It is, everyone's just kind of stone-faced, don't really know what else to do. That was more than likely Liquid's best attempt at getting an offensive round, and still, Team 1, inside of their team play and fighting ability, are able to win it out. That was an incredible round there from Team 1 to stunt Liquid's attempt to get a plant down there. Masterfully done, and honestly, they are deserving of what is going on right now.
So, this is it, ladies and gentlemen. Team Liquid now need to run 6 consecutive rounds in order just to trigger overtime. If Team 1 wins any of these attacker-sided rounds, that's it. The series is over, and we have our first finalist declared. It'll be Team 1 moving on into the grand final to face off against the winner of BDS and Empire later on today.
Yo, I got to know the one person that did this for Pick'ems. I have to know. There's somebody out there that did this. It was like, yeah, Team 1 are going to take it 2-1. They're going to knock out Liquid. They're going to go to the grand finals. This is just so absurd. Incredible stuff here from Team 1 today, especially the run back from down a map. Oregon decently close, ends in regulation in favor of Liquid. We go to Coastline, where Team 1 are just so dominant on their defensive side. Team 1 really, or Liquid really can't get anything done on the offense, and they switch gears. Liquid start to run it back up, but Team 1 close it out too quick, and they cannot get it to overtime, and now Team 1 have simply got Liquid's number. They have no opportunity inside of these rounds except for the last one to try and get around on the board, and now we sit at 6-0 as Team 1 are one singular round away from a major grand final.
There's a new half here, so a little bit of a mental reset for Liquid. They're hoping they can leverage this, but they need to bring just as impressive of a scoreline to the table as Team 1 did in the previous half. And to be fair to Team Liquid, all the maps we've played out so far have been defender-sided, but 6-0, that's a bit of a stretch. We'll see if they can bring it back once again, though, as now Team 1 begin to move in and take control away from Team Liquid, as they've gone for an interesting play here, an upstairs hold from them to try and leverage their first win in this half. Team 1 already taking admin control, and Alamut beginning to play around with the rappel in the yellow windows.
I'll be really honest with you, John. This is absolutely terrifying for Liquid right now. And the reasoning why is because of the utility that Team 1 have brought. It's just so very solid for this site, especially with the Ace and Habana coming in here. They'll be able to abuse Projector pretty easily here. This is going to be difficult for them to try and play out this space. So we'll see what Team 1 want to try and break this up like. But you can see Liquid do not want to try and give Team 1 too much room to work with early on here. And that's probably the proper move to make. But although Team 1 able to win out so many of these engagements, so always a scary thing when it comes down to it. Looks like we're going to be starting off with the Gon 6 actually popping open the window. A frag grenade to pour in as well. It's going to deal some damage to Muringa as well as Nesk.
Being held back slightly here, Team 1 starting to feel the pressure, but at the same time, all the utility they have working out seemingly for the time being. That M590, though, a dangerous weapon. Sexy going to be able to get, I believe, his first kill of the map, and that's indeed the case. Muringa still finding prowess, however, with his play on the inside with the M590. Oh! The swing after he throws the Selma down to open up the path forward. Levy also finding his second kill on the inside of the round. It's down to just Nesk now, and he trades for one, but that's it! A 7-0 victory for Team 1 in the third map, and they go to the grand finals of the 6th Major Mexico.
You can feel the energy in the room right now, folks. Team 1, congratulations. You have made it to the grand finals of the Mexico